Hey friends, it's Molly here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you a detailed look into how I've organized my craft room. This is a very, very small space and I had to get really creative in some of the ways that I stored all of these craft supplies. So get ready. I got lots to show you. So let's go. Now, for those of you who have not seen my other videos, I actually have a video on how I did this mural, how I set up and remodeled this entire craft room. But now what I want to do is go through and show you the details of where I put things and how I organize them. Now, when you first walk into my room, you're going to see my desk, which I love. This is probably my favorite desk that I've ever had. So I love that it's on casters so I can wheel it around whenever I want, but it's also adjustable so I can adjust the height of this. So I actually have this tall enough right now so that it works with my bar stool, which is a really comfortable height for me. Now the other thing that I love about this are the drawers. They have these two gigantic drawers. And so this top one I have mainly office supplies in. I do have a couple of little jewelry making supplies that won't fit up on my board. But then the second drawer has all of my crochet hooks and my pom-pom makers and all of my knitting supplies. And it is so satisfying to have it all laid out like this because I can just easily see what I need and grab it. And then on my desktop, I have one of my favorite candles and just a few little, pencils, scissors, that kind of thing. And I have this little geode from a friend of mine. And then I've got a couple of carousels. This one has paintbrushes and palette knives and that type of thing. And then this one over here has all of my favorite pens, markers, pencils, that sort of thing. Next, I have my Ikea Pegboards, which I absolutely love. And one thing that I just found from there, I had never seen these before, are these little pegs. They're like little dots. And I love them because before I was not able to put my hammers and my saw, well, my saw could fit up there on the hook, but the hammers would never work with the hooks. So these little pegs work perfectly. So I just have my different hammers, my saw, and then a variety of different wires. And then of course down here I've got two little, that little clip holds projects that I'm currently working on. And then on this board, I've got just some little drawers with jewelry making supplies, and then my pliers and cutters. And then I have my saw blades, and this is my Behr Life, and just a couple of other little things for jewelry making. Now down here, for anybody that does any type of metal smithing, anytime you're hammering, especially anything small, you'll know that you are probably going to hit your finger at some point. And these are my favorite little tool to use. I just got a bag of them. They look like little foam marshmallows, but it allows you to be able to hold down the metal without keeping your finger on the metal. So it puts a little distance and it saves your fingers. So if you did not know that little hack, you are welcome. On this side, I have paper towels because of course, craft room, you have to have paper towels. A few more jewelry supplies like files and glues and that type of thing. Over here, I have projects that I have to fix for people. And no, they are mostly not my jewelry that I've made. A lot of times I get jewelry from other designers and people say, "Hey, you make jewelry. Do you fix jewelry?" And yes, I do. Well, depending on it, but depending on the type of jewelry, but yes, I do fix jewelry. And then this is my little idea book. And then on the back side of my desk, I have this little cubby right here, and I'll show you what's in here. So in this one, I have current knitting projects that I'm working on. And then down here, I have my bulky yarn. So all the big yarn goes down here. And then I have fabric scraps that I have left over from projects. In here, I have my brass, all my sheets of brass and copper, and then little scrap pieces of metal from different projects that I've done. And then I have my books in the middle. Now, one thing you couldn't see from my other video, because it's hidden, Back here, I have a little 3-tiered cart, and this is my project cart. So right now I'm currently working on these little cups. And so it's for my mom. We call her Shug. So these cups are my current project. But the plan with the 3-tiered cart is I'm only allowed to have 3 projects going at once. So it never fails. You're in the middle of working on a project, something else comes up and you have to work on it and you have to push those things to the side. So my plan is each project gets a shelf, and then once I have filled that up, I have to finish a project before I can start something new. It's just my attempt at trying to keep some of the clutter down in here. Now I have changed a couple of things on the back of my door. This is all things pertaining to my business. So I've got tissue paper, and I've got little velvet bags, and then my larger gift bags. So all of this is what I use to wrap up my jewelry. Then on this side, I've now got my ribbon up here. And then if you saw my video before, you know that this is new. So I actually had 2 of these on this, but I needed them over on my jewelry pegboard. So I found this in the dollar section at Target a while ago, and I just used some of the Ikea hooks to keep it up there. The problem is when I put it on the wall, it leaned forward and all of these look like they're about to fall out. So look what my little smarty pants self did. I put those pegs that I just told you about right behind it, and it just keeps this level. Such a great little hack. I'm so proud of myself. And then I have business cards here for my different businesses. And then this is just a little canvas bag, and I put my receipts in here. Now on to my closet, which this closet is just the greatest thing. This has made me so happy. One simple little thing, thanks to brainstorming with my friend Becca, has just made the biggest difference in this room. It's given me additional space. So all that we did was take one of these shelves that was right there in the middle, right there, and moved it down so that it made this a work surface, which gave me enough room to put an Ikea pegboard up and to put one of the little plastic grocery bag holders from Ikea so I can put my vinyl in there. It allowed me to have room to put one of these metal pegboards up. It's just completely opened up this space, and now I can actually use this area to cut fabric, which anybody that sews knows it's such a pain to have enough space to cut fabric, and so this is going to allow me a space to do that. On the very top shelf, I have my photography business stuff. So photography equipment, I've got batteries and lenses and memory cards and all sorts of things photography related up there. And then on this far end, I have my scrapbooks, some that are finished, some that are in progress, but none that I'm currently working on. That's all there. Then down on this end, I have some jewelry boxes that I use for packaging up jewelry for customers. I have some more little tags in there. This is actually a little empty bin, and what I do with that's kind of my go art bin. That's what I grab if I'm going to be making a little art kit to go. So like if I'm going to be working on a sketchbook, or even if I want to go out into my backyard and draw, then I will fill that little guy up and grab my sketchbook and go. All right, so these bins right here, I got these at TJ Maxx, and they are wonderful. I love these. But I've started making stickers, and so these bins are so nice because they'll hold, like this is one of my newest little stickers that I did. So this one, you actually get 6 stickers on one sheet, but it's a pretty big, I mean, that's a 4x6, and these drawers will hold it. So I'm keeping a lot of these drawers empty right now because this is where I want to put all of my inventory for my stickers. Now over here, I have just some printouts and patterns and things like that for knitting and sewing. And then that far bin actually has some paperwork for business. And then I've got some linoleum blocks up there for printmaking, some thread in that box, and then this actually for business papers that need to be filed. Down here, which we actually have to start on the corner, I have rulers, and this is a little hot pad for my iron, and then I have my thread and my sewing machine and my wonderful light that I love, my Ott light. This is so good. And then I have my Ikea pegboard with my favorite little cross stitch. This I got from my friend Laura. Used to have a shop, and this, I loved it. Quit your belly aching. It's just so good. So I love incorporating things into my home that just make me laugh. I have to give you guys a tour one day of all the little funny things that I have hidden in my house. So I've got my rotary cutters, my fabric scissors. These are my little quilt. I don't even remember what these things are called, but they help me keep my quilt rolled up. My clips that I love. These, the sew tights. Oh my gosh. These sew tights are essential for English paper piecing and quilting. So I've got some other little sewing things here, like my glue and some fabric markers and things like that. A couple rulers up here. These are my quilting gloves. These actually help when I am feeding that fabric through. It kind of helps me push it along. This little basket, this is my go bag. So in this go bag are all of my, this little go bag has all of my English paper piecing stuff, the projects that I'm working on. And so I have this ready to go because this, like if I'm going to a doctor's office, if I have an appointment, or if we're going to travel, or really just anything, I have this ready to go so that I can always work on my English paper piecing, because that type of quilting takes a little bit of time. I've got some measuring tapes up here, another ruler. There's that vinyl I told you about, and of course my Cricut machine. Love my Cricut. And then I have all of my Cricut boards up here. Now down below, in the very corner, I have boxes of completed jewelry. That's all for jewelry shows. I have my design boards for making jewelry right here. And then this is some more completed jewelry that's like big chunky pieces. And then I have this storage unit right here that I really love. And I have my gouache paint and acrylic paint pens, and I have sewing notions here. This is actually a jewelry storage box from Michael's, and I just took the top off of it and it fits perfectly into these drawers. So I have things like sewing feet. I have some bobbins, some needles. This is where I keep all of my thimbles and a couple of other little extra things. And I have more sewing notions in here. And then we have some zippers and some tape and some elastic and things in here. Then in this one, this is kind of my random craft drawer. So I have some Mod Podge and some Sculpey. And then this is where I keep my embossing powders and my glue sticks and a couple of other things. And then I've got my hole punches in here. I also keep ink in here. And then I just have like some measuring spoons that I only use for DIY projects. And then my little squeeze bottle. Then in this one, I actually have my heat gun and my Dremel. All right, so now for this shelf. So I keep all of my batting for quilting back there. This one has all of my cuddle and then my backing fabric. So back there, in that basket is where I keep all of my batting. And then here I keep all of my little fleecy cuddle and any of my backing fabric. And then over here, I have, these are my jewelry forms for when I do jewelry shows. And then in this one, I have paint palettes and a few canvases for painting. Down on the bottom, I have 3 drawers here, and I will actually just pull this whole thing out when I need it. But I have my scrapbook paper in here. I have my word and object stickers here, and then my letters, my alphabet stickers in here. And then in this basket is actually where I put projects, like current projects that I'm working on. So photographs and things that I've already kind of coordinated and put together. And then these are the 2 albums that I'm working on right now. So it's all in there. And I just pull this whole thing out when I need it. So these 2 bins right in the middle, I'm gonna take these so you can see in them. So to begin with, this is my photography workshop goodie bag. So this holds all of my goodie bag items for my photography workshop. And then this is actually a tray. This is from Ikea. I love these bins. And then this has door prizes that I have for my workshop. And it is so nice having it all in one place, because before I had these in like multiple bins and I was constantly searching for things. So that's the top one. And I just have it labeled with my photography business card. And then my painting business card is what I use for the label on the bottom. This idea actually came from my friends Kathy and Leah. All right, so now for my painting one. This one just holds my paint. I mean, that's because I have a whole lot of paint. Well, that, and I have a couple of texture plates in here. But yeah, so this has all of my paints in here. So my liquid acrylics, I've got heavy bodied acrylics, regular acrylics, but all of my acrylic paint is in here. Okay, so just outside of my closet is my bead storage. This thing was a labor of love. I actually got, so it's 6 separate units, and I got this from Harbor Freight, and they sell these at other hardware stores, but the ones at Harbor Freight are a fraction of the cost. These hold all of my beads, and it's so satisfying having everything out in the open so that I can see it all. So I'm just going to be able to come up and grab a few of the little drawers, pull them out, do some designing, and then put them back. So I'm really, really excited about this. It's also really great that this is up on the wall, whereas before they were just in little bins stacked up, and I always had so much trouble trying to find certain beads and, you know, which one was it in, because I had so many of these bins. I'm hoping this is going to be a major time saver. Now, beside my bead wall, I have my little gemstone print that I love so much that I got from my dear friend Stephanie, who owns Me and Mrs. Jones in Memphis. And then down here, this is my happy spot. I just love this so much. This is the calyx unit. It's actually 2 calyx units. And then I didn't want them on the floor because I did not want any dog hair or dust or anything to get into my yarn. And so I bought these legs from Amazon, and I absolutely love the way it turned out. I just think it looks so great. It gets it up off the floor, and it makes it look like a really nice piece of furniture. Now, the thing I love about the calyx unit is that you can get all of these different inserts for them. I wish I had a bigger room. I really would get a lot more of these. I just think they're wonderful. But I loved these X's, and I don't know exactly what they call these. I'll find them and link them below. I'll link everything in the description below for you, but I just love, they're supposed to be for wine bottles, but look how great they are for storing your yarn. And I just got some mat board and wrapped my fabric around it so I could see all of my fabric clearly. And it's so satisfying. So all of my yard or more fabrics are in the big baskets. And then these smaller baskets have my fat quarters and my half yards. Look how pretty all of these colors are. It's so satisfying. And before, these were in a basket, and I would have to dig through the basket to try to find what I needed. And every time they would come unfolded, and it was a nightmare. So now I can quickly see everything that I have. And then I have one more basket down here with a yard or more fabrics. But it just looks so pretty. So guys, that's gonna do it for my detailed craft room tour. I hope that some of these tips were helpful. I hope that you enjoyed it. If If you have your very own craft room tour on YouTube, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to check it out. I love watching craft room tours. Also, if you have not had a chance to check out my other videos, I'll have those linked in the description below, along with everything that I've used to organize this craft room. Guys, if you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you'll be notified when I upload a video. Please let me know if you have any suggestions for videos in the comments below. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And guys, make sure you allow yourself to have a little me time. It's so important. So guys, get out there, have a great day, and thanks for joining me today, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.